Alright, hey. Part 4? Damn. Anyways, I need to clarify something because I made a mistake in part 3. Probably because I'm just tired, but oh well, I can't sleep anyway. Adjacent angles are this. Let me draw it for you. Oh. Here we go. Coplanar. I'm sorry. What am I doing? I'm tired. Adjacent angles. This. Adjacent angles are angles that are right next to each other. That's what I said, but I think I said it wrong. Or displayed it wrong. Either or. This is the correct adjacent angles, okay? Adjacent angles are when you have... I even wrote it out for you. You must know I care. Adjacent angles. When you have angles that are right next to each other, okay? So if you have this one and it's like, and they technically don't even have like a relationship between one another. They're just adjacent. That means they're just next to each other, okay? Like if I'm right next to this chair, there's no relationship between me and this chair. I mean, get to the upper level physics, then there's a relationship between me and this chair, but as of now, there's no relationship between me and this chair. So, just had to clarify that real quick. Now let's get back to the regular video. What are we going over, folks? Corresponding angles, alternate interior angle, alternate exterior angle, interior pair. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing I did in part 3 and make this a, as we know, it's called a transversal. Let's do this real quick. Two parallel lines cut by a transversal, to be specific. Excuse me. Let's number it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, corresponding angles. That's simple. In terms of wording it, or excuse me, in terms of spelling it, there's no abbreviation. You just write out corresponding. And in terms of explaining it, I'll just show you. Okay. So corresponding angles would be this: 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 3 and 7, 4 and 8. I hope you're writing this in your notes again. So, if you have this, corresponding angles would be 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 3 and 7, 4 and 8, okay? To be clear, 1 is here, 2 is here, 3 is here, 4 is here, 5 is here, 6 is here, 7 is here, 8 is here. Perfect. Those are corresponding angles, okay? Alternate interior angles. We're lazy with this one. Alternate, alt, interior, int, angles, and then type out angles. Write out angles. Why do I keep saying type? Alternate interior angles, okay? Alternate interior angles are, like I said, difficult to explain, but I will show you. Interior, we're talking about the inside of the parallel lines, not the outside of the parallel lines, okay? So that would be alternate interior angles would be 2 and 7, 4 and 5. 2 and 7, 4 and 5. They go across from each other always, and they are equal to each other because math says so. Alright, and then we have alternate exterior angles. EXT angles. And that would be the ones on the outside, and then of course across from each other, okay? So that would be 1 and 8, and 3 and 6. I didn't plan that. 1 and 8, 3 and 6. Cool beans? Cool beans. Alright, covered that too. And interior angle pairs. Are there any? Yes, I believe there are. Okay. It's not that important, but I'm gonna show it to you anyway. They're called interior angle pairs, and basically what that means is if you have two angles on the, for example, look, if we have 2 and 5, those are interior angle pairs. Doesn't mean much. It just says that if you add those together, you'll get 180 degrees because they're collinear and they're on the same line. Therefore, if you add this with this, you'll get 180 degrees. I'll show you an example of me doing these problems and solving it and showing you why, okay? So let's see. Let's use a transversal again. Alrighty. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So typically in an exercise or a problem or something of the sort, they'll give you one piece of information and then from that you solve the rest. So for example, they'll give you one of these angles and from that you solve the rest because you know the background information. So I'm just going to give me the measure of angle 3 equals 120 degrees. Equals 120, okay? So the measure of angle 3 is 120. So on a test, on my test, when I give it to you, I will give you something of the sort. Now me, because I'm lazy, I might give you the exact same one and just change like 3 things about it, okay? Okay, watch carefully. So measure of 3 equals 120, right? So we know that because measure of 3 equals 120, we know that this one here, angle 2, is 120. Why? Because those are vertical angles, okay? They're right across from each other. Remember the X? There we go. 120. Now, because measure of angle 3 is 120, we know that angle 6 is 120. Why? Because those are alternate exterior. Alternate interior. 120. Perfect. And because we know that measure 3 is 120, we know that measure 7 is also 120. Why? Because those are corresponding angles. I will relate each term to measure 3. How about that? Angle 3. So angle 3 and angle 2, vertical. Angle 3 and angle 6, alternate interior. Angle 3 and angle 7 corresponding. Let's see. Did that one? Yep. Did that one? Yep. And this one, that means this is 120. Alrighty. Now, we know that because angle 3, let's do, you want to do 1 or do you want to do 4? Let's do 1, okay? So we know that angle 3 and angle 1, actually let's do 4, just make it easy. We know angle 3 and angle 4 are what's called supplementary. That means they add up to 180 degrees, okay? So basically what we'll do, the only arithmetic that we have to do is subtract 180 because that's a straight line. Subtract it from 120 because that's the measure of the angle they gave us. That means the remainder, which would be 60, because 180 minus 120 is 60. Here it is if you don't believe me. Is 60. Therefore, the rest is just going to be 60. You just fill it in the proper space and tell us why. So, angle 4 is, measure of angle 4 equals, what was I saying? 60 degrees. Or it is just 60. Why? Because supplementary. And that's the reason why. Okay, I wrote it out. And now we know that angle 4 and angle 1 are congruent. And they equal each other because those are vertical. And we know that angle 4 and angle 5 are equal and congruent because those are alternate interior. Whew, almost done. And then we know that angle 4 and angle 8 are equal because those are corresponding. So, to conclude, this is 60, this is 120, this is 60, this is 60, that's 60, and that's 120. So, we started off with just this one. I'll circle it for you. We started off with just the circled information, and because of these reasonings, these are equal, and the only one we need to figure out technically was the measure of angle whatever, because they're supplementary angles. Hope you enjoy angles, folks.